Yo's on, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm gonna go over the trades that we took today as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So right here, this is what we looked like on the 30-minute chart. Both sides of the premium here are negative, so the 10's below the 50 on the put side, and then if we go to the call side, the 10 was below the 50 on the call side, or I think I said calls in the last picture, but 10's below the 50 on puts, 10's below the 50 on calls. And yesterday's video I told you guys that we weren't technically bullish yet because that 50 SMA was still sloped down. So today was very important to see if we could flip bullish, and that wasn't the case. We ended up gapping down a little bit, and we ended up crossing negative on this 30-minute chart. So with this going negative here on the 30-minute, that pretty much tells us that, okay, the bulls couldn't take the trend and it's likely to head a little bit lower because it's just a negative cross right here. 10's going below the 50 on the call side, so likely we do see some downside, and that's what happened today. And like I said, that negative cross on the call side, typically leads to a put cross on the 0-day chart. So if we pull up the 0DT chart, this is what we look like. This is how you would have played it. So right here off open, again, this was a harder, entry just like yesterday. But I think this trade, in my opinion, was a better trade than yesterday. Like the cross yesterday was a bit harder to catch than today, because during this 5-minute candle right here, on one of these two candles, it ended up like pulling back a bit to, if you go to the 1 minute, you could see it pull back a little bit. We ended up pulling back here. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was on this candle right here. So right on this candle, we ended up pulling back to 2.40. So if you look here, what am I doing? I'm supposed to go to the 5-minute here. If we look here and go to the puts real quick, we pulled back to 240 during this candle right here at the F40. So this ended up pulling back to 240. So that was your best point to get in on that pullback when this candle ended up wicking down. So 240 pullback, and the 50's all the way down here, the 10's going to catch up to it. That was your best shot at an entry point, and it ended up paying. I caught some of that. I didn't call this out on Discord because, again, it wasn't like the greatest entry in the world. Same thing with the cross yesterday. Yesterday there was literally no pullback whatsoever. Today we actually got some sort of pullback on that candle that you could have entered off of. It would have been better if it stalled a little bit and came all the way back to the 10, but again, that didn't happen. You're not always going to get the best entries you want, and in a neutral market too, if you don't get the entry that you want, there's no problem with sitting out of it, because there's not going to be that big of a move you're going to be missing out on usually. But this did give a solid move. But that's how you'd have traded that. And you could have also bought this 50 dip here. And I know if you're sticking to the rules of the system, that this isn't a trade you take because the market's neutral. We know we're neutral, but the thing is here on the call side, like I said, that 30-minute chart was going negative on calls, and I said that it's likely to push us lower. So since we are going lower, this 50 SMA is likely to hold since that 30-minute chart is going negative. So this is one of those like situations where you could buy the 50 dip. Colton called this out in the Discord, and it paid. Go short here at the 50 because these are puts, and then we got like a 70 to 100 point drop off of this move. So it was a really nice trade, and that's why you could have bought that 50 dip when we're neutral. But typically in a neutral market, yes, you don't buy this 50 dip because we are neutral. But given the situation with the 30-minute chart going negative on the 30-minute, you could have bought that dip for some points, and it paid. And then we got really choppy around here, like super choppy. After this 50 dip, there's really no point to stick around in the market. You got this cross right here. Maybe you caught it. If not, you got this 50 dip that you could have caught, and that would have been your day. I wouldn't go and sit in the market when we're neutral and start trading every single trade that comes. Once you're green, pack it up, move on the next day, because you want to like wait for the days we trend. Like those are where the really good days come from, when we get those trending days, and it's very easy to milk the market. Like this action right here is not easy. If you're not trading the system, it's a very hard trade to take, or very hard day for you, because you're in all this mess right here. This is all choppy mess. But with the system, you could have shorted the cross, which was a little bit harder, but you could have bought the 50 dip. In both these instances, we were not chopping. So both the moves the system gave, there is no chop when these trades happen. But in between these trades, it was choppy. It's pretty much, the system pretty much lets you know when we're going to move, and that's what's the greatest thing about it. But that's how you play today. This chart over here, like I said, I wouldn't even touch it after this point, just because of how much we're chopping around. But if we go to the 30-minute, like I said, we are neutral. So going into tomorrow, we're going to be looking for a cross on either side of the premium. But, you know, keep in mind, if we're at that 30-minute 50 and we get a cross on calls, let's say, you know, I wouldn't take the cross because we're at that strong resistance point. Same thing with the puts. If the 30-minute chart on puts is sitting right at the 50, while like when we're crossing, don't take the cross, wait for the negative cross. So that goes for both sides. If we're not at the 50 and we get a put cross, okay, you could take it, ride it up into the 50, and that'd be your full take profit area. But, you know, that's the plan for tomorrow. Like I said, there's no trend in the market. When we're neutral, could expect chop. That's exactly what happened today. And when we are neutral, you want to take less trades, in my opinion. You know, you don't want to stick around and be trying to milk out a neutral market, because you will get wrecked doing that. And again, in neutral market, I typically size a little bit less, and you know, I not cut my losers. I usually take profits quicker. So if I'm up 50 points on a trade, I'm likely to just take it all off because I know we're neutral, and you know, we're likely not to get that big of a move. So, you know, once I'm green, take the loot, move on to the next day, and that's that. And that's pretty much how you trade the system. You know, you don't need to trade the neutral markets all the time or take a lot of trades in them. Just wait for the 30 minutes across on the Fridays, and that's when you can take advantage and really milk out the points, milk out the trades, and it's really easy. So yeah, that's what we did today. That's the plan going into tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like, drop a sub, join the course if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.